Happy hunting.
Hunt me.
I am the hunted one.
I'm hunting most things.
Let's hunt some.
You can hunt.
Long have you hunted me? You're being hunted.
Welcome back, 30th of August 2018. Top 10 hunts from Steemhunt from yesterday. Let's jump in. First one is Crowd Supply. Zero phone, a $50 open source smartphone based on the Raspberry Pi Zero. Like, if you'd have told me as a kid that I'd be able to play with things like that and create an actual phone device to be able to call people on or receive calls, I'd be like, for $50? Not happening. So it's an open source, Linux powered, $50 smartphone, has no carrier locks, bloated apps or data mining, and it doesn't depend on big companies. Instead, it uses open source hardware and software, giving you much control over the phone as possible. Now, it's based on the Raspberry Pi Zero, which is kind of their low cost, single, tiny board. In fact, I've got one here that runs as a CCTV camera. Look at that, look how tiny that is. It's all in one little unit. That's a Raspberry Pi Zero with a little CCTV on the front. You just have to put one power cable in it, and it's charged. It works. It's even got like little HDMI out on that side if you want to run it as like a little monitor. What's going on my screen today? I've got like darkness over here. Maybe I need to bring the screen in a bit more. Maybe that'll solve it. So yeah, $50. Power user and programmer friendly. It's built from widely available components, so you can build a Zero phone independently if you need to. So I can see people totally like modding these out, building like 3D printed cases for it. Based on the Raspberry Pi Zero, ESP8266 and Arduino, has Wi-Fi, HDMI, full-size USB, which I just described actually, and it's got a 128 by 64 1.3 inch OLED screen. So kind of low power but super sharp at the same time. And I'm kind of interested. I think once you get into something like this, you'll end up like dabbling around a little bit more. I'd love to build a Raspberry Pi maybe 3B plus router system, so some kind of 4G router system. I realize it won't have the latest and greatest up-to-date 4G, but anything that has like the ability to stack it, so I can kind of have some level of like 4 or 5 ones connected together with different SIMs as redundancy. I think that would be really cool. Next up is Capsula Mundi. Life Never Stops is a cultural and broad-based project which envisages a different approach to the way we think about death. I have to say, I really love these like hero graphics at the top and the way they've presented it. It really like speaks to the heart straight away. I love that one especially. I love you, Grandad, like hugging this tree. So the idea behind this is it's instead of I presume just cremating, it's this capsule. So that capsule then is buried like a seed in the earth, and then a tree chosen in life by the deceased will be planted on top of it and serve as a memorial for the departed and as a legacy for posterity. Friends and family will continue to care for the trees as it grows. Cemeteries will acquire a new look, and instead of the cold grey landscape you see today, will grow into vibrant woodlands. I love the idea of coming back as a tree. Not necessarily coming back, but love the idea of like growing from your like legacy and soul and history into like a tree instead of a concrete headstone. It certainly makes more sense. Next up, the Tetra bin. If you want to really get kids into the idea of throwing stuff into a bin, the best thing to do is turn it into a game, right? I think this is genius. The only thing that concerns me about it is kids correlating the outside graphics Tetris thing as to the things that they're putting, because it's really just a trigger point, right? You're just triggering the animations on the side. But if we need triggers to actually get them to engage with recycling, then so be it. I think it's like a smart crossover between an art project and gaming and gamification of recycling. I dig that. Next up is the Joystick Bike Federation, which I didn't know existed. Welcome to this revolutionary adventure. Build your own joystick bike prototype with 2 wheels and 1 joystick. This thing is fast. Like, I watched the videos. This thing is not slow. You can shop for the frame, the kit command, the joystick, all of the bits and pieces that you need on it. 1, it looks fast. 2, it looks super movable. My only concern is you have 0 protection on it. Like 0. There's not much protection going on the top of that. Also, I'm not sure about this little handlebars at the front. They're kind of tiny on that one. But anything that's electric and can amplify the amount of power that I'm putting into it, as in a pedaling kind of assistive thing, I'm down for. And I really dig the joystick as well. Instead of having like the handlebars where you kind of like with the rev, having a little joystick with a controller on it, I kind of dig that. You could have a whole like screen setup system, especially if you were like traveling for charity, doing like a 5,000 miles or 10,000 miles for charity with some kind of big plastic thing on the top of it, with a joystick and a screen so you can reply back to people in live stream. You could really go to town on this. Next up is the Chunyan mini stove, turn fire into electricity. What I love about this is the way that it compacts down more than anything. I mean, we see these little mini stoves all the time, but I really like the size of it and the weight of it. So this doubles as a fire wood stove and a power bank. I've seen a bunch of these around. Like you can get little fire stoves, and some of them are just super light. That's kind of like where people come from on these things, is the lighter these things are, the better. But this one's got an integrated power pack in it, and I think anything that takes two things shrinks them down. I'm presuming the charge is similar to the way that the thermal BioLite stoves work as well. But I definitely like the size of it. How much is this? 50 bucks? That's not too bad. I mean, it is stainless steel. My only concern is the quality of the components for the battery, for the thermal, like battery inducer thing underneath. I presume it's thermal. I presume it charges up from the thermal. I really like this little animation as well. I don't think it does that, by the way. I don't think it is powered. I think you have to like open it up yourself. If it does, then it's kind of cool. So it's a mini electric generator, turn fire into electricity, heat, thermal electric energy, thermal generator into electricity, internal battery, and then that goes to a USB gadget. Not bad for 50 bucks, as long as it lasts. Next up is coffee logs, wonder fuel made from recycled coffee products. Not sure. There you go. For the perfect coffee logs fire. I presume it's gonna really make the room smell of coffee as well. If you're selling your flat or apartment, this is probably the perfect stuff to have in your little fire pit while you're selling it. Last for today then is mod pools, making a splash in backyard pools. Order your shipping container pool today. Where do I sign up? A shipping container pool? I'm totally down. A 40-foot pool will cost you $40,000, which sounds kind of a lot actually, when you probably can pick up a shipping container for about $2,500, $3,500 secondhand. So they're obviously putting some serious work into how. I mean, there's a big viewing panel on the side. Kind of dig that. Yeah, I could see one of those. I could see one of those jumping into that every morning. Final three today then. The Rainforest Connection. The most impactful way to stop climate change, save rainforests. So what do these guys do? How a system helps preservation rainforest, prevents illegal deforestation, halt animal poaching, and enable bioacoustic monitoring. So as far as I can work out, what they do is they've got these like solar panel units that they put up dotted around the forest, and they communicate with like a mesh network. I presume they communicate with each other, and they've got like noise sensors so they can hear, I presume, loggers and people who are just like activity in the forest where they shouldn't be. So ever wanted to hear a rainforest in real time, introducing the official free RFCX app, Rainforest Connection project with Temba Indigenous Tribe. I mean, genius project, great use of great application and usage of technology. Anything that helps re-educate and have a global conversation about maintaining our forests, which are, you know, some of the biggest carbon containers in the world that we need to have. We don't need to be logging them and taking them down. Great project. Next up, Core. KnowYourCore.com. Track what really matters. Core enables you to track what's going on inside your body using the gold standard of health measurement, your blood. It's like a little device. This guy's just going to use it on him. It's like a little pinprick thing. and then you put it into this, like, I presume, wireless hub, and then it analyzes what's going on with your blood. My only concern with that is how that thing gets cleaned. I presume that machine cleans it, or where that data's going to. Do I get access to that data, or is it like shared data? I would be concerned about using this linked to my name. I'd probably have to use it in an anonymous way to make sure that my stuff didn't get leaked all around the world. Finally today, Wow Cube, which makes a noise every time you go onto the web page or scroll down on it. The Earth's first twisty game console to hack human evolution by twisting and shaking is coming soon. So it's kind of like those tiny little screens from the first Hunt for the mobile phone, but they're combined together and they work together, interact together. I think this could be big. I think this could be a big project. That's it for me today. It's already getting hot here, so it's going to be difficult to like get all the recordings done today, I think. If you've never been to the website before, this is what Steemhunt looks like as of August 2018. All the hunts are on the right hand side. You click through, they appear on the left hand side. Click the white button, takes you through to the hunt. If you want to add your own, you just log in with your Steam details, click on the plus button, put the title in, put the image in, put some body text in there up to 1,000 characters, add some tags, and you're done. That's it for me today. I will catch up with you.
Prepare the path of a steam.
Smell of steam.
Stomnassie, wat is een stomnassie? Stoommachine.
Why shouldn't the guy let off a little steam?
The steam.